Hello and welcome to XP Share. This is going to be a channel kind of dedicated to book reviews, maybe some game stuff, lore videos about some maybe comics, books, games I'm interested in. This is going to be a recap of books 1 through 3 of the Wheel of Time. I plan on doing some videos summarizing my thoughts on the series as a whole. I've currently read books 1 through 3 and I'm reading book 4 at the moment. Let's just dive into it. These books have been a bit of a slow burn for me, with wildly epic endings I've come to expect in the series, but just small events kind of slowly culminating into the epic climaxes that leave you excited for the next book. Book 1 had some obvious Fellowship of the Ring vibes, which I think basically everybody has noticed. Everything from the small village, traveling wizard, fireworks, master swordsman helping them travel, etc., etc. Everyone knows this, but Jordan has kind of also purposely paying homage to this, which totally understand. It's kind of the pinnacle of fantasy or classic fantasy, and so yeah, no major issues with book 1. I thought the Trollocs were super cool. Kind of a mysterious, interesting take on orcs. Kind of leaves a nice kind of variety to combat with them. Did enjoy kind of the chases, being followed. Cannot remember the name of the city where they ended up picking up the dagger. However, I really liked kind of that chaos, cryptic vibe. It helps with a lot of the lore building going on in these books. I did enjoy the loyal Shrek reference that ogres have layers. Wasn't aware that this was actually a Wheel of Time reference, but there you go. Book 1, pretty solid 7.5 out of 10. It was nothing super amazing, pretty fun, chosen child type arc or child of prophecy, that sort of thing. I did find the ending kind of wildly out of nowhere. It had a bit of a power escalation I wasn't expecting from this book, but it was cool and got me really excited for book 2. Book 2, party gets separated again. Everyone's still kind of dealing with the hardships and chaos their lives have kind of fallen into. I found most of the character arcs pretty strong. Not totally sold on Rand. Still a bit of a child of prophecy type situation. Didn't experience a ton of growth with him. Mostly just power escalation type stuff. Things also just seem to be happening around him and he's reacting to it and kind of pulling magic out of his butt to deal with the big bad at the end of the book. The women of the story, I have a bit of a love-hate relationship with. They all come off very strong and confident, but there's a bit of a submission thing going on with the whole Aes Sedai training, that sort of thing. There's also the girl in the book that is kind of taunting Rand, getting him to want to take the horn. Obviously, just kind of goading him the entire book to kind of do what's obviously some pretty bad stuff. However, Rand's just basically going along with what she's asking because she's hot. But I get he's super naive, but I couldn't really handle it. I was mocking Rand in a private chat with a friend who recommended that I do read the series. And in general, I do find the boys from the river are all incredibly naive and come off as a little bit stupid as well. But they're growing a little bit in this book, so I do appreciate that. Rand using the stone to travel kind of alternate dimensional rift was really interesting. Enjoying the kind of alternate dimension timeline and dreamscape aspects of the series. The dreams continue to be really interesting. I like the kind of illusions that they're leading into, and kind of the way I visualize it in my head. I'm really enjoying those sections. Really interested in where Matt's arc will go. I do feel his character has a lot of room to grow. with his friend's apparent luck. Powers seemed to be getting stronger. Side effects of blowing the horn of Valir, which invoked kind of a scene that was basically a cooler Army of the Dead scene from Lord of the Rings. Pretty solid scene and win for book 2. I am waiting for Perrin to get his big moment. The Wolf Tribe stuff is neat. Seemed a little rushed to some extent. His ability to track, coming to terms with what he's becoming. He also has a sense he's falling behind some of his friends, probably affecting him. He seems to be in a bit of a depression. Waiting for this to pay off in the next few books. Tom is awesome. Really enjoyed his ability to go and wanting to seek revenge. He's awesome. He's snarky. Love his scenes. Elaine, Moiraine, Egwene. I actually didn't know who was who at first in these books. I started to kind of catch on to their names. I'm listening to the audiobook, so it was a little confusing at first. Moiraine definitely made sense. Continues to be really cryptic and cool. Kind of a more intense, edgy Gandalf. Definitely into it. Got that cool scene with the firewall, and excited to get a bit of her background and understand. She's kind of alluded to having some kind of dark type abilities and things that she's kind of learning as we go. So definitely interested in seeing what she's kind of doing on the side. Enjoying the Egwene Nynaeve scenes, the kind of mother-daughter type relationship they used to share and how that's breaking apart to them kind of being on par with each other, them starting their training, going through their trials, kind of the what was, what could have been type situations and how they're dealing with those. Egwene dealing with her kind of dream world, dreamer training could be very cool. Definitely enjoy the kind of salty nanny, keeping Egwene in check dynamic, and how that's kind of breaking apart as they slowly become equals. The Seanchan were interesting. I was a little confused when they first showed up on the boat. I wasn't sure what these people were. They were going to stick around or what was happening. But I did find the world-building implications of a force like the Seanchan just showing up and throwing everything off balance to be really enjoyable. Robert Jordan crushes the tail end of his books. Bit of a sidestep. Loyal continues to be awesome. Great contrast to the party. I don't mind he's a bit of an exposition dump. I definitely buy the character and why he would be knowledgeable. Great addition. So cutting to the end, Rand blows stuff up again. However, I did enjoy this ending much more than book 1. Book 2, solid 8 out of 10. Ending with kind of the declaration of the Dragon Reborn. So, book 3, The Dragon Reborn. Perrin, let's go, buddy. I'm definitely here for it. Blacksmith, Wolf Friend, Dreamwalker. This was his book. Loved everything about it. Loved his growth. Matt, he's now aware of his luck, and he definitely is pushing it. Starting with the stomping of the 2 swordsmen above his league, then uses his earned coins to amass a small fortune, which pays his travels across the country to eventually help save the team. Definitely interested to see how this pays off, and even more curious to see if his luck runs out, since cutting into the fireworks didn't seem to do it. Rand was mostly missing from this book, and I'm okay with this. He seemed to be owning his fate to some extent, which did climax with a nice battle between him and the big bad. It's getting a bit formulaic in terms of teams break up, do some stuff, learn some new tricks, unite, take out the bad guy. However, in this book, the final fight did feel a bit more earned, and we did expect the sword to be kind of an OP D&D style artifact. So the scaling of that was appreciated and expected, like I said, and it definitely encouraged some really cool kind of visuals as it's being described. So yeah, as I said, Robert Jordan kind of crushing those endings. And all in all, his descriptive abilities with the kind of the environment, the world, the scaling and everything is really great. I do have some questions in terms of how much time is passing between these books and during the books. I'm trying to avoid going online and spoiling too much for myself, so it might be something I check out later. But yeah, Still not totally sold on the Aes Sedai stuff. I do find the whole kind of Catholic school girl parallels a little hard to read. I definitely get what they're going for there. Just not totally my cup of tea, but I did enjoy Egwene finally having something to do at the end of the book. I was glad she was there to help save the group. Book 3 was a bit of a step back for me. I did enjoy the growth of the characters. It was definitely a character building book, but I was looking for more plot or overarching story to pull me into the books. I do understand that there's a bit of a recoming battle or apocalypse type event that seems to be looming. I'm not sure if that's something that's going to last for the 14 books or if we're going to get something new show up in the book 4, book 5, maybe even book 6 range, but I'm still looking for a little bit more overarching story between the books other than Rand needing to kill the bad guy. So yeah, book 3, 6 out of 10. Wheel of Time thoughts. For the first 3 books, I'm definitely enjoying it so far. The world seems rich. Big diversity of the countries, cities, species, all presented very well. Great detail on the characters, everything from the clothing, how they're feeling. Really, really solid writing on terms of Robert Jordan. For a 14-book series, like I said, I'm still waiting for a bit more drive and overarching stories. I'm not sure where the end game quite is yet. Maybe it is just the Dragon Legends and his battle. But we'll see. Perhaps this is what the entire series is about. But waiting to see if there's some new conflicts to kind of be not just the fated returning conflict, if that makes sense. But that's it so far. Hoping to do a few of these. I do plan on diving a bit more into book 4, specifically just about book 4. Just want to do a bit of a recap of books 1 through 3. Just finished Stormlight Archive as well. Might do some stories there, some lore videos. About to start Dune, probably in between book 4 and book 5 of Wheel of Time. Definitely thanks for checking out the video. Feel free to subscribe and toss me some feedback or some suggestions in the comments. I'll be keeping an eye on that and look forward to doing more videos. Thanks.